Hi class, today I want to touch on a few important things from chapter 2. Here we're looking at organizational attributes, and I have a few notes here that I'm going to be looking at. I want to focus on the attributes that you read about in your chapter as well as looked at whenever you were going through your PowerPoint. All right, we're going to look at identity, instrumentality, a program of activities, membership, clear boundaries, permanency, division of labor, hierarchy of authority, formal rules, and procedures. I want to focus on these because whenever you look at your discussion question and then get into your case study, I want to make sure you have a good understanding of the importance of these. Every organization to a degree is going to touch on each of these attributes, but often in a very different manner. So I have some examples on the screen here. We'll look at the Y, formerly known as the YMCA, and we're going to look at an athletic department, whether it be Division I NCAA or NAIA, Division II, Division III, because each of those divisions are going to have different attributes as well. Maybe a sporting goods store. Here you're looking at that tangible product versus the intangible product, and that should be reviewed. A tangible product is that sporting good, a tennis shoe that you purchase. You exchange money for a physical product that you take home and can use, versus an intangible product such as an experience. You buy a ticket to a game and you don't come home with a product necessarily, a physical product, but you come home with that experience and that memory. Okay, so the sporting goods store can add that twist when we're looking at attributes. And then I just threw out a professional team, the Charlotte Hornets. And so we'll kind of go through these 9 attributes and look at these more in depth. So with identity, as you read in your book, you're looking at more so the organization's, their goals and their objectives. It's important that you understand that the identity of an organization or your organization as a sport manager isn't defined by who you are as a sport manager or who the elected officials are, because those change year to year. And so when you have a change in leadership, the identity of your organization doesn't change. Those goals and those missions and those objectives remain the same. And so the book gives a good illustration of the why and the mission that says Christian principles into practice, putting Christian principles into practice through programs that build healthy spirit, mind, and body for all. Okay, that's not going to change if you're the manager of that organization, or if you retire or another elected official steps into your place, that identity remains the same. Okay, and so moving on to instrumentality, here you're looking at, what are you used for? What is your product used for? Well, why is a membership at the Y instrumental, and who's it instrumental to? Well, it's certainly, members join the Y because that membership is instrumental in what? In them gaining access to facilities, whether it's weightlifting classes, aerobic classes, swimming lessons, youth sport. Okay, it's instrumental in that regard. Another example would be, another example, maybe an athletic department or the Charlotte Hornets. You purchase that ticket. That ticket is instrumental in what? Gaining the consumer access to the game, okay, to the athletic department activities. All right, so understand why you're instrumental, your organization, identity, and then who it's instrumental to and why it's instrumental. What products do you have that make it important or instrumental to a body of consumers? All right, third, you have a program of activities. Here you can look at, we haven't really touched on the sporting goods store. It's easy to apply to, say, a sport facility such as the Y. You have your program of activities specifically stated. You have tennis lessons. You have programs in swimming. You have programs with youth. You have weightlifting programs, aerobic programs, right? You have a list of programs of activities, and that's important for you to know and understand which of those programs of activities fall within your organization. Well, look at the sporting goods store. They're just as involved in programs, okay? They're involved in the activities of purchasing their products, right? There's an art behind that. There's a strategy behind that. Not only purchasing their products, but promoting their products and then selling their products, right? So program activities can be seen in all types of sport organizations and physical activity organizations. Clear boundaries, that's simply stated that you as an organization, that you know what your boundaries are, right? If you're a university, and the book gives a great illustration of this, if you're a university, then your boundaries are teaching, service, and research. That's it. It's clearly stated. Okay? If you're an athletic department, your boundaries may differ depending on what level of athletic department. If you're Division I NCAA, maybe you have broader boundaries, right? If you're NAIA, maybe a smaller athletic department, maybe your boundaries are set more concise. Okay? Permanency. If you have a well-established organization such as the NCAA or the Y or Dick's Sporting Goods, or you have a well-established brand or organization, then when you have changeover, you have retirement, you have death in upper management, you have any kind of hiccup, then your organization is okay. That identity is set. You know your programs of study, you know your membership, you know your boundaries are clearly set. You're going to survive, most likely, right? Some of these smaller organizations, if you're an entrepreneur and you're starting a new organization, some things of this nature, turnover and change in authority and management, that can upset the organizational structure and be a detriment to the organization. Right, that's going to be dependent on years of service and strength of brand. Division of labor. Here, it's easy to look at an athletic department, and you have your athletic department, your organization as a whole. Right, within that umbrella, what are your divisions, and why do you have those divisions? You have a marketing department, events. You have game day operations. You have someone to oversee the facility, someone to oversee the equipment room, right? You have those divisions of labor for a reason, and that's to maintain control, that's to prevent chaos within your organization. You see this in fitness facilities as well. You have a division of aerobics, and maybe a division of youth athletics, maybe a division of fundraising. Okay, these are all divisions of labor. Hierarchy of authority, I will post an organizational chart, and here's where from the top down, all right, this is communication. If you are at a certain level and you have a problem, well, who's your immediate supervisor? Okay, and then where does it go from there? And then the next step, up to the president of the organization, and that's an organizational chart, and I will post an example of an organizational chart for you, but it's important to understand within every organization that there has to be that chain of command, is another way to put it. And then formal rules and procedures, and this is an easy example of this, is the NCAA. You have to have those explicit rules in place so that your employees, so yourself and your employees, know what rules and procedures and policies need to be followed in any given situation or circumstance.